Big climb. Slow and steady. Today, I am going to have about a 9 or a 10 mile carry toward the end of the day. All I keep thinking is, if I can't bounce a quarter off my ass after this, I'm gonna be pissed.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to mind your own.
Okay, I finally made it. And this is another reason I filled up at the last water source. This one is not as big. And yeah, look at that. It'd be even a little challenging to fill. I think somebody said you kind of need a scoop. So I like filling up when it's running and fresh. And I don't even have to worry about filtering it. This, I probably won't filter this either, but it's going to be a lot harder to scoop. So I'm glad I'm filled up. So Got Hook says there's a stream about 6.9 miles away, which I'm climbing, so it's a pretty long day. But it says it's kind of hard to collect, so just a couple of small pools. So probably worse than what I'm seeing here. And then I think 7.5 miles away is a better one. So I can't really count on any decent water for 7.5 miles. And I'm trying to decide how much I want to fill up. I'll have to look at the profile again. It's still early. I'm going to have to make it through lunch with what I have. In afternoon. And it's cloudy. So it's not going to be too hot. So we'll see. I'll decide how much water I'm going to carry up. Here. So downstream from the trail, like see that right there? That would be really good. That'd be easy to fill my bottle. But I don't like getting water downstream from a trail. Horses cross it. People cross it. Who knows what people have stepped in? Who knows just what people are tracking in? So I always try to like to collect my water up from the trail. You know, especially since I'm not going to filter it, probably. Sometimes I gather stuff like this with the intention of filtering it, and then I'm like, nah, and then I just end up drinking it. And I mean, look at this. It's coming right out of the ground, pretty much. Oh, there's some pools up there. Yeah, this should probably be filtered, but I probably won't. I'll be coming around the mountain when they come. Ooh, ooh. I'll be coming around the mountain when they come. I'll be coming around the mountain. I'll be coming around the mountain. I'll be coming around the mountain when they come. I'll be carrying a big fat backpack when they come. Hoo hoo. I'll be carrying a big fat backpack when they come. Hoo hoo. I'll be carrying a big white backpack. I'll be carrying a big fat backpack. I'll be carrying a fat backpack when they come. Hoo hoo. I'll have big fat blisters on my feet when they come. Okay, I think I've played this song out. Still climbing. It's still climbing. I don't even see the top of the mountain. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Big climb. Still climbing. Still climbing. Oh my gosh. That might be close. I don't know. I keep saying that for an hour. Okay, this is it. I see the other side. Woohoo! So all in all, it was like 13 or 1400 feet, including what I did before the water. And I was hoping it would be sunny, so I could lay out my sleeping bag, but it's not. But I need a break. I'm not gonna lie, 5 miles of steep downhill is almost as hard as going uphill. Maybe as hard. I still have to go slow. It's just like a lot of impact. Yeah. But my feet are feeling really good today. I'm not having the normal pain in my right foot. I was earlier. I took some ibuprofen, but that doesn't usually make it go away for too long. I'm almost at the lake. Actually, I'm getting to the bottom finally. It's not as steep. Yay! So I made it to the water sources. I still have probably about 1 liter of water in my bladder. But I'm going to the lake. There's a lake up here somewhere. I should be close. I should be close, but the last mile is always extra long. I mean, literally like a long time ago. I said 1.2 miles, and I've walked at least 2 miles since then. I am really tired. I look forward to just setting up camp. I had debated whether I would stay here or keep moving, get a couple more miles in. You don't really appreciate how long 1/4 mile is until you've hiked many miles up and down hills with a backpack. Seriously, 1/4 mile when I'm day hiking, when I'm just out in my rig, doesn't seem this long. This is long. Alright, we're here. Home sweet home. I've now done this about 48 times, something like that. And you might notice that the head is going downhill a little bit because it seems like no matter where I am, no matter what happens, where I want to put my tent, it's at a downward slant, unless my door is backwards. And I'm in a a hunter's camp, which of course isn't going to get any activity probably tonight. I chose this rather than right on the Trout Creek sites, which are literally right on the creek and right by the bridge. And I'm just kind of sick of being so in the open and being so close to the trail. So I walked down the road and I found this. And what was I going to say? Oh, so I wanted my opening out this way toward, you know, the camp where potentially, you know, if somebody drove in, I could look out and see. So the next time I buy a tent, I think I want dual openings. This happens to me a lot, that I either have to aim my door where I don't want it, or I have to find another place to put my tent. And I really wanted to put it here because the grass is nice and soft, and it really is probably the most level place I could find. So yeah, the next time I buy a tent, I want openings on both sides so that I can put it wherever I want and not have to flip it because of the door. So, all right. It's really warm, humid even. So I haven't been putting my rainfly on. Actually, I did put my rainfly on last night, but I left the whole side open, and I think that's why my sleeping bag got so wet, because I woke up and it was foggy and misty, and I think that contributed to it being really wet inside. I also woke up again, though, drenched in sweat, and I'm not sure if it's because of the combination between my sleeping bag and the sleeping pad, which the material in both are really kind of just sticky and icky, especially if it's humid. They don't feel good on my skin at all. And so I'm not sure if it was that and it just being a warm night, or if I'm still having night sweats. I thought I was over the night sweats, but I think I might still be having night sweats. Because I woke up completely drenched. I don't think that's normal. Even if you're hot, I don't think you usually wake up totally drenched. And so my sleeping bag was a little damp inside and out. So I draped it over a bush on one of my breaks today and made sure it got really dried out really nice, because the down really does need to stay dry. Can you tell I'm really tired? And I've cut down my miles to, like, I think I did 13 today. But that's actually normal. Everybody cuts down their miles in Washington. I've done more climbing the last 2 days in Washington. Did I say Oregon? In Washington. You know, I complained about a lot of the up and down in Oregon, but I don't know that I've ever done 4,000 feet in one day. No, in Oregon, I didn't. Luckily is I'm in shape, and, you know, so it's not totally killing my body. I'm okay with it. And it's been also pretty gradual, but it's long days, and you do go slower uphill, and I'm very tired. So thought you might want to see the routine, though, of getting set up inside. The thing about having been on the trail this long compared to the first couple weeks when I was losing everything, so I don't know if I told you, in addition to losing 2 spoons, I lost a Leatherman. Seems like I lost, I lost a bandana, I lost a sponge, I lost my coffee filter. But the sponge, the bandana, the coffee filter, and the spoon, I'm pretty sure all that disappeared the same night. That was weird. Anyway, the first spoon. But anyway, part of the reason I kept losing things is because everything didn't have its place yet, because I hadn't been out. But now everything has its place. You know, I make sure now, of course, I keep everything in its place so that I don't lose track of it. But the first thing I'm going to do, I always do, is undo my sleeping bag, because it needs time to puff up. And if I had the energy to stand up, I would stand up and shake it out. But I don't at the moment. Although I am going to go back down to the river and clean up. And it's been really nice. The mosquitoes are gone, so I can leave my tent open. And so actually, the first thing I normally do is just completely empty out my backpack. My spot goes in my pocket inside. I take all the food out, because most of the food is going to get stored in the food bag that I close airtight. My phone. More bars. My journal. I keep hearing things. And my headlamp. I have a pocket in the roof where I keep my headlamp. So like I said, everything has its place. So I know where it is. And you know, like in the middle of the night, if I need my headlamp, I know where it is. I don't have to think about it. My towel, my kind of all-purpose towel, absorbent, dries fast. Okay, so now that my backpack is empty, it goes down at the end of my tent. Oh, time to change into my sleeping clothes, get out of my dirty hiking clothes. My clean socks, I'm going to wear these tomorrow. I'll go down to the river and rinse out the ones I've been wearing for the last few days, and I'll wear new ones tomorrow. Socks to sleep in. And actually, while I have access to water, I think I'll rinse everything out so that I can have clean tomorrow. And my air mattress, which I'll blow up later. Okay, set up, home. So it's just a short little, like less than a minute walk to the creek on the other side of the paved, it looks like a paved forest road, paved forest service road. I don't have to be right on top of the water. The rumors are true. Washington isn't, or Oregon is a lot dirtier than Washington. Boy, if I did this in Oregon, the dirt that I'd be wringing out of my socks. I mean, there's a little bit, but nothing compared to the dusty trails of Oregon. It's because it's a lot more humid here. It's like rainforesty, damp. In case you're wondering, I don't know if I mentioned, I switched from my right socks, which weren't wool. I thought they were. I don't know if they changed or what. To Darn Tough wool socks and liners, REI liners. I think these are just polyester, but no blisters. It's nice to be able to do laundry. My legs aren't even as dirty. Oh, that feels pretty good. Hi, Chili. Feels good. I can't tell you how good it feels just to spread out and to have space. I mean, literally, I just feel like I've been kind of cramped on the sides of trails. It's a lot harder to find camping than I thought it would be. I thought, you know, I would just use gut hooks as a guide. If there were camping spots that gut hooks recommend, there would be camping spots nearby. And no, there's not a lot of camping through Oregon and so far in Washington because the trails are so steep and so bushy. And, you know, if I was out here and if I was going to be making a camp for multiple days, yeah, I'd go bushwhack, I'd clear a space. But to do that just for one night after hiking for 12 hours a day, you're not going to do that. And so this is just such a luxury. I mean, I have all this space. Can hang my clothes on a tree to dry. It's been a long time. I've got clothes over there on that tree. And just to walk around. And not see anybody too is a real luxury, or not be seen from the trail. So I'm enjoying this very much. This is nice. It's relaxing. It's relaxing. That's what it is. All right, I'm getting hungry. It is time to make dinner. My nice little spot. I like it. Oh. Home for the night. It is quite nice. Dinner is cooking. Third spoon, well, fourth really, if you include the plastic one. 3 times a charm with the titanium Sea to Summit. That's what it is. All right, I'll bring that to a boil and then let it simmer. And then wrap it in my cozy till I'm ready to eat it. 20 minutes, half hour, finishes cooking in this, and that'll be dinner. Okay. I think that's cooked enough. Good morning. It's day 50, I don't know, something. Day 50 something. 53, maybe 54. And I'm making coffee. I'm on Trout Creek. I did video of this yesterday. Anyway, I'm at this hunting camp, which of course it's not hunting season, so it's pretty empty. And I had some reservations about camping here, and I wanted to point these out to you, kind of these reservations apply both for RV living and definitely living in a tent. But the reservations I had about camping here last night were, number one, it's right next to a road. It's a forest road, not a lot of traffic, but there was a little bit of traffic. So you can drive directly to this camp. There's a fire ring. There's a few beer cans in there. So it made me think it's possible that people could come out here in the middle of the night, park, party, whatever, and camp, whatever. I'm not even a quarter mile down the road from where the other PCT people that I saw coming in are camped close together on the trail next to the river, the creek. So that was my first reservation. It's close to the road. My second reservation was that, yeah, that you can drive here, and my concern that it might be a party spot. So what I decided, though, was there's only 3 fresh beer cans in the fire pit. That means a couple people came down here, had a beer, and left. Not a sign of a heavy party spot. There's not a lot of garbage. There's a little bit of garbage over there. Somebody dumped. It's a pile of, there looks like there's a tent in there and a rug and a bale of hay. So somebody just left their garbage over there. And like I said, it's a hunting camp. So it's off season for this camp for sure. So I'm making my coffee. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I have a story for you, though. Stay tuned. So that's why I'm doing this. So yeah, I kind of took a look at the situation. I got here pretty early. I got here at 5. No cars came down here. There's not a lot of garbage, not a lot of signs of partying, not a lot of broken glass, not a lot of burnt crap in the fire pit. Just a lot of signs that said, you know, this will probably be a pretty quiet place for me to camp. It'll probably be fine. You know, if I were in an RV, I would have even been a little less cautious, maybe. I mean, just because in an RV I can lock the door. But being in a tent, you know, my guard was up a little bit. So, being so close to the road, I was like, yeah, okay, we'll kind of just see how things go. Well, fast forward, I'm in bed. I'm almost asleep. Hang on, I need a sip of coffee. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. It's 10:30, maybe. By the time all this was over, I looked at my clock and it was 11:30. So, I'm laying in bed, almost asleep. Maybe I was asleep. I'm not sure. And I see a light on my tent, like a really bright light on my tent. And I hear footsteps. And I'm like, okay, footsteps, light shining around, scanning around. I'm like, well, bummer. There's another hiker down here. No big deal. And so you've seen this place, right? We looked at it last night. Huge space, lots of spots for camping. And in fact, I think, you know, I'm over there behind me. When I got here last night, I was going to camp over here. There's a fire pit over there, and there's a pretty level spot over there. But I opted over here. It looked a little more level, and I'm in the grass, which I thought would be nice, soft, comfy. So footsteps, light, you know, and you can always tell a headlamp, it kind of going all over the place, you know, looking for something, and footsteps, pretty close to my tent. And I'm like, okay, well, they're just kind of scoping the situation, whatever. It's just a hiker. Wasn't scared at all, just on guard, wanting to know, you know, what's going on out there. Is it a hiker? It wasn't a car, so that made me feel comfortable and safe. It was just another hiker, what I thought, looking for a place to camp. So, you know, a few minutes of this hiker, footsteps going around my tent, and my tent is right here, you can see, and the light and everything. I hear right here, what is this, 10 feet? The dude starts setting up camp 10 feet. Look at right here, 10 feet from my camp. And I was like, oh, hell no. And I actually even yelled, no, you're not camp. Actually, I had unzipped my tent, and I was looking under my rain fly, and I could see his feet. That's how close he was. I could see his feet from under my rain fly. And I was like, yeah, dude, no. I said, that's too close. I came out here to be away. Oh, man, don't worry. I'm sorry. I get it. Oh, man, I'm scared. Did you see the crazy guy? So he kneels down right here, and I do unzip my rain fly, and, you know, verified he was a hiker. He had a backpack. He kneeled down right here, and he's just kind of rambling about this weird guy. It was interesting. This weird guy down by the river who I had seen. He had a fire going. That might be part of the reason I didn't want to stay there. I think I just got a weird vibe. He didn't look up. He was just kind of like manically working this fire. He had a backpack. But anyway, there was another story. I think I still have to. There was another story of another weird guy further down the trail, 50, 60 miles. So anyway, he's telling me, yeah, you know, he's burning plastic and he's just rambling on and told me I can camp downwind of him. But then he starts talking about this training he had in Northern California. And I don't know, he was just freaking me out and I didn't feel safe. So I just want to feel safe. I'm like, okay, well, you can feel safe over there. That's what I told him. I said, there's a spot over there. Go over there. You can camp over there. Oh, man, you know, so okay, I get it. And I'm like, yeah, you're too close. And he's like, okay, yeah, I totally get it. I respect that. So he goes over there and he's kicking stuff around for a while. And I thought he was setting up over there. You know, now I'm on guard. I'm awake. I'm up. I make sure I have my knife close by. I know where my headlamp is. I mean, by then I'm on guard in case I need to act, right? So, you know, don't be afraid, but be prepared. So I'm listening to him and I'm seeing the light flash, blah, 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 over there for quite a while. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's setting up over there. Still kind of an uneasy feeling about him. He was just rambling, kind of not quite incoherently, but maybe he was just nervous and scared. He asked me, are you doing the PCT? And I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, me too. I'm a 59-year-old guy. And he shined a light on his face so that I could see his face, which is actually a really nice thing to do, right? Helping me feel safe about him. But anyway, he's messing around over there for a while. And then I hear footsteps next to my tent. I'm laying in there and I'm like, what's he doing? So I'm up again, looking out again. And I see him over there messing around. And then he leaves. I see the light go da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, down. And he's gone. And I'm like, did he set up tent? Is he going to get water? What's going on? And so I'm totally on guard for a while, just waiting for him to come back. And then I see a light shine on my tent from the other side. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is he coming at me from the other side? But it was coming, I came out of my tent to look. I actually came out and it was over in the woods over there, which is where the trail is. And I had read that there is a campsite about 100 yards up the trail. So I figured that's where he went. So I was a little bit on guard. Took me a little while to go back to sleep. I made sure, like I said, I knew where my headlamp was. I knew where my knife was. I thought about turning on my spot. I turned that on because it takes a while to kind of fire up just in case I needed to hit an SOS, but I didn't feel that unsafe. I just felt it was like a weird situation. And then not only did I have to worry about kind of incoherent, scared dude, then I had to worry about crazy dude with the fire down by the river. Is he going to come out here looking for people to, you know, whatever? And I realized, okay, my mind is going crazy. You know, who knows? I mean, that guy got scared because the guy said he had some training in Northern California and he had a fire. So, you know, I'm not going to dismiss somebody else's gut feeling. He had a gut feeling about him. He felt he needed to move. But then again, people get scared pretty easily. And because of the murder on the Appalachian Trail this year, I've noticed even with other hikers, people are a little bit more on edge. So, there have been a couple of incidences out here of encountering people who seem to maybe have some mental illness, and people are extra cautious because of the murder on the AT. So, you know, no harm, no foul. You know, just again, another situation of something that makes me stand up, be on guard, not necessarily scared, just stand up and be on guard and be aware of my surroundings, have my ears open, what's listening. And I still think that the rest of the night I slept with one ear open. And another situation of, you know, your guard being up, but the end result being it was harmless. And just another example of all the people who think that there is so much to fear out here. Oh, there's crazy people, blah, 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 blah. Again, the incidences of bad things happening, no matter where you are, in a city, in the country, on a trail, in a tent, in an RV, in a house, the incidences of things, dramatic things happening are very rare, right? Mostly things like this happen, just kind of weird, kind of make you stand up, stand on guard. You know, if it was really weird, if the guy kept circling my tent, if the other guy, and that's what I thought for a minute, I'm like, are they working together? If the other guy had come down, if I could have, I would have packed up my tent and gone. If I didn't feel safe enough to do that, I would have just grabbed my knife and my phone and I would have just left. And I actually thought about that. I'm like, okay, if things do kind of, somebody comes, unzips my tent and peeks his head inside, what am I going to do? And so I lay there and I had a plan. in case worst case scenario happen. And I think that's the best that you can do. Instead of hiding out at home, fearing everything, you go out into the world and you do the things that you want to do and experience life to the fullest and encounter every situation as it comes up. And when something like this happens, quickly formulate a plan. What are you going to do? What's your escape plan going to be? And that's what I did. And here I am enjoying my coffee, getting ready for a really, really tough day on the trail. 4,000 feet of climbing, 11-mile water carry up that hill. I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest with you. So that's my story. I think it's just another cautionary tale. I think it's another example of how, this video could be used to say, see, it's scary out there. See, it's scary out there. My hope is to share this to say it's not scary out here, that, we encounter, when we put ourselves out in the world, we encounter all kinds of situations and people, and it's just a matter of how we deal with it and how we prepare for it. It just goes with the territory when you live authentically and when you thrive and when you put yourself out into the world. You're going to encounter things that are going to make you stand on guard a little bit, but that doesn't mean you should hide in fear and cower away from the things that you want to do. Okay, I'm running out of battery on this, and my GoPro card is full, and I lost my spare because I keep losing shit. So I don't know how much more filming I'm gonna do until I get to Trout Lake, but I hope you enjoyed the last couple of days. Kind of insight into the climbing in Washington so far, and this little story about staying safe on the trail and what could possibly happen. And how to stay safe, and how to assess a situation, how to assess an area to decide whether or not it's safe, whether you're camping or living in an RV, and then how to deal with strangers coming into your camp in the middle of the night, and standing up for yourself. I've talked about setting boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. You can't close. And I said, look at all this space around here. You are not camping right next to me. I could have kept my mouth shut and just sat there and worried all night, or every time I had to come out to go to the bathroom, I had to walk 100 yards away or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, no. So standing up for yourself, setting boundaries is also really important to staying safe out here. If I hadn't told him he couldn't stay right next to me, he might still be here, and I might have been uncomfortable all night, and he might have rambled on. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my Pacific Crest Trail adventures. There's a lot more to come, so stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell to receive notifications, and also make sure you check your YouTube settings, that little gear knob, to make sure you're set up to receive notifications. Those will also help you for my live streams, because I hardly ever plan them, and they're always last minute. And if you want to be notified when I go live, you make sure you click the bell and click the gear and set your preferences to get notified by email or text. Thank you so much for hanging with me from the Pacific Crest Trail in Washington. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. And don't be afraid. Cheers. I love coffee.